What up, YouTube? Go Farm back for another video on this beautiful day, y'all. It's cold as hell out here, but we still got to get things done. I want to prune my trees a little bit, but let's talk about pruning, y'all. Yeah, man. All right, y'all. First thing, everybody out. If y'all hear that in the back, I live in the country. That's my neighbor over there shooting. I know him. Don't worry about it. But if you prune your trees, you need two things. Pruners. These some new prunes. I want to see what kind of action they got. Oh, these are cool looking. Never mind. I'm like a little kid. And you need some wipes because you don't want to carry disease and whatever from one tree to another. So after every cut on every tree, you clean. I've seen people use all kind of things, alcohol. I just think disinfectant wipes are way easier to use, and it's Kroger brand, so it's really cheap. But definitely when you cut one tree, even if it's the same species, if you prune one pear tree and you go to the next pear tree, clean them. We clear? Clean after every tree you cut. All right, now let's cut. So first off, take 5 steps away from those pruners. Take a step back and let's talk about this before we start pruning. Now, those are your trees. Whatever reason you want to prune your trees, that is your call. Let's start there. Don't never let nobody tell you when and why you should prune your trees. And no, I do not believe you should prune your trees every fall. I do not believe that. Next thing, when to prune. I like to prune in fall and winter because those trees are gone dormant. I think it's the best time. If you do it in the spring and summer, you got juices and energy flowing up and down that tree trying to put leaves and fruit on. I believe if you prune in the spring and the summer, it'll introduce more disease and bacteria into your tree. It's just like a person, it's an open wound. Every time you cut that tree, it's an open wound that has to heal. A lot of bugs, a lot of things out in spring that can put disease into your tree. It's my personal opinion. Now, why do you prune? Only a couple reasons I believe in pruning. If you want to prune for height, if you don't want your tree to get too tall where you can't get the fruit, and that's not really a thing because they have a thing on Amazon called extended hand fruit picker that goes up 20 feet. So you don't need a ladder. Just get a fruit picker and pick your fruit. But that's your tree. So if you are pruning for height, that's fine. That's a good reason to prune. If you are pruning for dead branches, prune for dead branches and crossing limbs. Let's see, can I find one? This tree needs a lot of work. All right, right here. Now, if that limb continues to keep crossing, it's gonna rub this limb so much that it puts a sore or rubs it off. Focus in on me. There you go. So, I don't want that limb to keep rubbing. So I'm gonna prune out either this one or that one. But probably this one because it's growing straight up. All right, so let's stop talking about it and just do it. So right there, and you got to figure out which one do you want to cut. Now that's growing straight out. I'm okay with that. But this one is growing straight up through the middle. So I could take this one out, this limb, but it's just gonna meet up there as it grows out. And I already got one that's going way up. So I'm gonna take out that whole limb right here. First time using my new pruners, how they gonna do? Spectacular. And you don't wanna cut all the way against it. You want a little bit of nub right there. All right. And never cut your branches flat, because when it rains, you want the water to just roll off and not pool up in one spot. All right, another thing, sometimes you got to anticipate the growth. This limb is growing right here. If they both keep growing, they're gonna intersect and rub together. So I'm just gonna stop that all together right there. Also, most of these trees you want an open canopy. So technically, I should cut this limb out because it's growing right down Broadway. But I ain't, because it's my tree. I'm okay with it growing like that. But the branches that's growing to the inside, I'm gonna cut those out. All these branches growing on the inside, I'm gonna cut those off. And I'm leaving that because I like the straight upward growth of it. All right, the other thing, dead limb. Right there, dead limb, take it off. Does nothing for the tree. All right, and we got another rubbing against it. It's gonna get disease, it's gonna get infected. So we're gonna go ahead and get that out. Get it out of there. Don't overthink it. If it's gonna cross and rub against the other limbs every time the wind blows, it's not healthy. Same with this one. Rubbing against it right there. That one. Rubbing. Let's get rid of it. But the biggest thing is, before you prune, know why you pruning a tree. It's no need, and once again, it's rubbing right there, crossing branches. So I'm gonna cut it right here. I want a healthy tree. And I also want all my branches growing to the outside, not the inside, to keep the airflow going. So I just look, that one crossing. Let's get it out of there. Now, too much pruning will slow down your fruit production. I mean, that's only natural. You got fewer limbs, so of course you got fewer limbs for fruit to grow on. So get that one out. If it's crossing, I like how that canopy looking though. I really like how it looking. So anything growing to the inside, I'm gonna get that out. All right, so I'm okay with everything else. And there's no such thing as perfect pruning. Don't let people tell you how to do your trees, and please don't butcher these trees every year. Few limbs here and there till you get it to grow the way you want to grow. All right, this is my apple tree. And apple trees love to have I call it wine glass shape or goblet shape, where the outside is clear so you can get good airflow. Apple trees get a lot of diseases. So I've had this middle cut out, but I've got one little sprout growing right there, and I don't want it to get big, so I'm gonna cut it off now. All right, that opens the middle back up. But also, like I said, think long term on which way that branch growing. That branch growing right back to the inside, so I'm gonna cut that one off too. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And I did clean my clippers, so I'm okay with all that. Just take your time, back up, look at your tree from a distance. Make sure what you want to do, not what YouTube say do, because if you watch 5 different pruning videos, you're gonna get 5 different reasons or ways to prune, and I don't agree with most of them. All I agree with, if you don't want the tree too tall, prune at the top. You don't want dead limbs on your tree because it's not healthy for your tree. You don't want crossing branches because they cause disease to your tree. And I like to keep the middle open on certain trees. Peaches, plums, apples, nectarines, and apricots. Other trees, not that big a deal to me. But do your own research. Don't trust a guy named Broke Farm you just met on the internet. All right, this is a methylated plum. It's a little over 6 feet. It's got a lot of spindly branches. This is the time that you want to prune this tree, because this young tree will get thick limbs in a hurry. So you want to shape it how you want this tree to grow. Now, I don't want a main leader. I don't want this in the middle of the tree. I just want an open shape. Now, if y'all are squeamish, turn your head from the channel. I don't think these loppers are big enough to get it off. But I'm taking that whole branch off so I can open up the middle. Yeah, I'm gonna need some loppers, y'all. Y'all hold on. All right, if you got a bunch of fruit trees, invest in some good loppers. See that there? That's the anvil that's gonna cut on. All right, squeamish, turn away. Yep, I cut all that off. That's just how I do my trees. However you do yours is strictly up to you. So that opened up the center for me. Now that I got the center opened up, I got that classic goblet shape that lets in airflow. And I'm gonna do a little more pruning, and I'm gonna tell you why. Everything growing to the inside or dead, I'm automatically cutting it off. Crossing branches or branches that I think in the future will cross, I'm cutting them off. I really want only 3 to 4 main branches coming off. So a lot of these is growing right underneath another one. I'm cutting them out. And this tree has put on a lot of growth. So I don't want to waste the growth on limbs I don't want on here. A couple dead branches. Cut those out. Limbs growing too low. I don't want my fruit too close to the ground for animals to get it. And I'm gonna cut this one off because it's growing toward the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot of leader branches, but I've cut enough. I don't want to go too haywire. And that's my neighbor, y'all. Don't worry about it. I know that guy. He's okay. He's just shooting in the backyard. We're in the country. That's what we do. So we got that one out. We got a side shoot. We're gonna get that off. And that's how I want my tree to look. That might not be how you want your tree to look, but this is exactly how I want my tree to look. And please understand, if your trees die from you doing this, it is not me. I'm not telling you this how you prune your trees. I'm telling you this how I prune mine, and I explain why. Cut out the center. Most of you want 3 or 4 main branches. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 main branches and the middle out. So it'll grow out and my fruit will be to the outside. I don't want to pick fruit in the middle of a huge tree. I want to pick my fruit from the outside. Just walk around the tree and pick fruit. And that's why I do what I do. All right, this is my peach tree. It's 3 years old. It's a little older. So a lot of this is just cleanup. Getting out the middle. Making sure I keep that airflow going. And just looking for branches that's dead or in the wrong place that's gonna eventually grow to be a problem and cross. So that's all I'm looking for when I'm doing this, y'all. I get plenty of peaches off here, so I'm not worried about prohibiting my fruit growth. But yeah, I've been working on this tree a lot, and it looks good. I'm not gonna do much to it. Open center, not much crossing branch action going on. So yeah, I'm okay with that. All right, let's circle back on a couple things. Anytime somebody tell you to prune your fruit trees, it should always be a reason. My fruit trees ain't like your fruit trees. Your region ain't my region. My trees might grow faster than your tree. Do all the research and come up with what works best for you. It's never a one size fits all when it comes to anything, and definitely not fruit trees. Me, I used to trim the top of my fruit trees so I didn't have to get on a ladder to reach the fruit. But then I find out I can get a fruit picker that extends 20 feet. So now I don't believe in that anymore. Crossing branches, you can't have them in there. Dead branches, it just makes the tree look bad. Always have a plan. Never just believe what anybody say. Do your own research and really think about these trees that we spending $40 and $50 on, that we just hacking every year. If you want to hack them, that's you. You want bonsais, that's you. But as for me and mine, this video is how we're gonna do business. Thank you for watching. I hope you like and subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and grow some fruit trees, baby, now.